Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Give us 1 second here while we get everything up and running, and we'll be ready to rock and roll today. I hope everybody's doing well, and thanks for tuning in. Liliana, how are you doing today?
Hello, Joey. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. It's another beautiful day in Missouri here. It's only going to be like 96 degrees.
Oh,
So,
I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. I've got no makeup. I'm all natural. I'm trying to embrace the age. I've dyed my hair today, so it's still wet, still because I've got lots of hair. So I just tied it back, so otherwise it goes all over. It gets like this if I'm not careful. But yeah, I'm really excited about the topic today because I know we have no viewers yet, probably. Um,
oh, we've got three tuning in already, so
oh
that's a
wow!
start. Yeah, right off the bat, we got a few people in here. So thank you
Hello,
guys for being here early on time. Uh,
thank you.
yes, absolutely. I'm getting my screens all set up so I can monitor all the different
I
chats
can't
coming
I
through.
can't see who you are, so thank you so much for showing up and welcome. And I hope that you today you're gonna be learning another something amazing from us because me and Joey, we jump in timelines and we don't not longer follow the old paradigms. So we just want to teach you about that, and hopefully you guys embrace this frequency and come on board with us for the timeline we're living at the moment, which is very confusing for some, but for those that are tuning in, obviously they understand because they are jumping into the same frequency. And collectively, at some point, we're all going to jump to this frequency and this timeline. So I'll let Joey start because this is obviously Q&A. Make your questions visible so we can answer them. And wherever you are, Joey, tell me, who are they? Hello,
Yeah, we
hello.
got Diana's on as
Always Diane.
usual each week. Thanks for joining in. Hey, Richard. Richard's here.
Hey,
Glad to
Richard.
have you. I don't know. Put a say hi in the comment box there, guys. Let us know who's watching so we know who to engage with here. We got quite a few viewers already. So, today's show, I wanted to touch on how, the importance of creating the reality we desire through our imagination. Hey, April, how are you doing? Um,
Hi,
so,
darling.
yeah, it came to me last night when I made a post on Facebook in a bunch of different groups and everything about, I see all this anxiety from people. I see so many people out there like nervous about all these different outcomes that could possibly happen.
Uh-huh.
And one, for instance, is this idea of CERN. They're starting up this particle collider again today, and everybody, there's so many people freaking out about this, thinking,
Uh-huh.
oh my God, they're going to destroy the universe. We're going to go into a black hole. We're going to jump timelines, all of this craziness that could potentially happen. I mean, I guess it's all in the realm of infinite possibilities. But the post I made on it was just straight to the fact of, we are creating our own reality. We're creating everything from our own subconscious mind.
Mhm.
So the ideas and the fears and the concerns that we place on these things in our external world, that's what is subconsciously creating all of the fear, all of the reality that we experience. So, my thought was, what if this is really just a beautiful thing? What if this is an awesome moment in our history to where these scientists, maybe they're don't know what they're doing, maybe they do, but at the same time, I like to think of it as, okay, if it is potentially has the ability to open portals, jump dimensions, all these different things, I look at it and I'm like, I look at the beauty of it. It's like, what if this is what a lot of people call the great solar flash? What if this is how we jump timelines and enter the fourth or fifth dimension? What if this is the access point for it? What if this allows us now to see the frequencies that have been previously hidden from us? What if it opens a new portal of reality that we can now see things that were once unseen? So the idea of creating fear around something, that's only something that we are literally creating within ourselves. The fear is only a belief we have. So how do we Liliana? How do we start to project out the good? How do we start to project and live from love to create in our imagination love, light, happiness, joy that we want to see in the world? After all, aren't we creating this reality? We're creating our universe, right? And if we're doing that, why not choose to create it the way we want it to be? Like the most amazing fantasy. Isn't that what we're living?
Exactly. Hi. Right. I have a say on that because during the pandemic, I stopped entertaining the cause. And I ask everyone in my feed to not entertain it anymore because I seen my reality to not to see that anymore. So I was asking people to not to focus on that because I jumped timelines and I created a reality where that was not possible in my world. And eventually, every single person that was putting negativity on my feed, I said, I don't want angry emojis in there because I don't see the world like that anymore. And my sacred heart just started to expand as I asked or promoted love as I seen in my timeline. So I started to create my timeline as I wanted to be, which was detach and collapse timelines with the old paradigms that I've been told. And those timelines for me were collapsing straight away. Since then, I started to connect with people that were more visible to my understanding because I become invisible to a lot of people. Although I was there, I am sure a lot of people resonate with this. I become invisible. And saying that, a lot of my friends that are in this timeline with me and understand my frequency, they actually start to connect on a different level and said to me, do you know what? I feel like that. In fact, I had a call with a friend of mine from Germany yesterday, and she felt exactly the same when she was exposing herself and say, some people see me, but I'm invisible to them. I said, look, because you are vibrating now on the same frequency, and this frequency is we are creating the world we want to live in. And that world doesn't involve fear. And so much so that I've seen, like you, this week, especially, or last week, a lot of light workers, and this has scared me the most. They were posting depression, they want to kill themselves, they want to commit suicide. And I was like, this is not real, guys. They are not understanding what we are about to create. So they are spreading the light with dark still inside. They have not shifted yet from this conception of they created their reality, and they are feeding still fear inside of themselves. And instead of me engaged, I was like, I'm not part of these things anymore. I don't allow this to invite me because I'm completely jump timelines. I don't see myself with this light worker that still feed this fear because basically they think they are light workers, but they still feed themselves with a lot of fear. And this is not what we are going towards. So for me, these people, they still on the old paradigm, on the old timelines, and I'm not longer there. If that makes sense to you, what I'm saying?
Yes, yes, absolutely. And, we all are entitled to, and we all are living on our own timeline. We're living on our own version of the video game, of this reality. And the beauty of it all is we've been given this opportunity through our powers, our gifts of free will to decide and choose the timeline we want to live on, the reality we want to create. We're the creators of the universe. You, Liliana, me, everybody watching, you are each creating your own version of your universe. Yeah, we're co-creating it together through the energy here, but at the end of the day, you and only you are responsible for creating it. And I can feel you there on in terms of seeing the other light workers and the people out there. So many people, they are depressed right now. They are feeling this sense of maybe it's things aren't happening quick enough or things are just going to hell. And at the end of the day, I got into a conversation with somebody on that post from yesterday. And, it was the idea he's he's asking about, like, well, how can all these evils exist? How can, you know, the perception of evil, darkness, the terrible things happening in the world, let's say to children, the perception of all these things that we hear about out there. And at the end of the day, you know, they're asking me, well, what kind of God would allow that? What kind of God does this? And it's, the idea is, God gave us the ability to choose this. He gave us the ability to create it. And the only way we can learn to create the love, the joy, the happiness that we desire is to actually experience the perception of darkness, the perception of separation. And I think a lot of the light workers, a lot of the people out there teaching on these subjects, or trying to share this knowledge with the world, I think a lot of them are, and I've been there too, don't get me wrong, I think a lot of us have at times forgotten our true power. We've forgotten our true mission. We've forgotten the reality of what it is we're able to do. And when things don't happen on our timeline, according to us, we start to lose faith a little bit. We start to lose that, have doubt, and lose that belief. And I think that's the ultimate lesson here, is to never lose that belief. It is a never-ending faith in knowing who you are and knowing the connection we have with everyone, everything, with the Creator, and that nothing is ever done to us. It's always being done for us. It's just hard to see a lot of times for most people because the veil is so thick, and the darkness, the perception of it, it's there for many people, and they just live in that constant creation of that perpetual fear, of that doubt, of that anxiety. I know you've learned and practiced really hard how to cut it out of your life, you know. And my question to you, I guess, for the listeners is, can you cut it out but be aware of it? For you, I know you've cut it basically out, and I take a slightly different stance, only because I like to keep my pulse on kind of where everybody's at. Where's the world at, you know? But at the same time, I'm aware of it, but I laugh at it. I see behind the veil. You know, I'm at a 20,000 foot view looking down and seeing this article or this happening or this. And it's like, well, that's about fear. That's about control. That's about misdirection. And it's pointing out what each thing that we see that we're creating, what they are and what they're there for, as opposed to it's not me. It's not what I am. It's what I'm creating. And once we start to overcome that perception, I think that's when our powers start to activate even more. What do you think, Liliana?
I think that is correct, because I've seen a lot of people. I mean, I've been targeted with these energies, but I understand them now. And I say, I know what you're trying to do now, but this is not me anymore. So what I've done was I switch my mind, because ultimately everything is suppressed and our conscience is still very suppressed, much suppressed, unless we understand it's not. So as I understand it's not, I said, I know what I am now, and although it's still suppressed because of the separation from the veil, I choose what I want to choose. And what I decided to choose for myself was, I'm aware of it, but I'm not part of it. So whatever you do, whoever is programming, I talk to them. Look, I do. I say, I'm not longer there. So excuse me, I believe in the time and everything is connected perfectly. And I say, but I choose to jump this timeline for my sake, because now it's my game. It's what I want to feed to my brain, is not what you log. Because remember, this is the ultimate test now. A lot of people are going to fall back. And we know this already. I know this is already. This is the ultimate test. You either jump timeline, or you're going to fall back, or you're going to stay in the same timeline. And I've tested this to the limit, because the energies was trying to get me thinking back. And this has happened to everyone. Nobody's going to be exception. The energies are so strong, they were testing us to try to think us back. And I say, no, I'm no longer that person. That person is gone. And as soon as I understand that I'm not that person, I choose what frequency I want to live on. And that paradigm and that thinking, that believing that it's going to make me doubt, it's not longer in my position or my possession, because I don't possess that person anymore. And although these energies are so strong and they make you doubt, because they do, guys, if you listen, and they're still saying to you, but you have not made it, but you, and I say, no, but you now are on the delivering process, which is going to allow me to jump timelines, because the energies are, although the energy was trying to get me really low and really tired, do you know what I did all week against them with my own free will? And honestly, I did this all week since I woke up. Of course, I do yoga in the morning and then put the music straight away. After my yoga, I do every single day music full blast, raise my vibration, and throughout the day, if I can, if I'm out of work, if I'm out of the house, it's fine, because I raise my vibration working and being busy, and I'm always singing on my head. And I did this on purpose. I said, I know what you're trying to do, but I'm no longer that. I'm raising my vibration, so I keep myself accountable for who I am, who I'm becoming. And I absorbed this energy. Although it was trying to make me tired, I said, no, that person, the old version, the person who's been labeled with fibromyalgia, it does no longer exist. That person, I'm sorry, is gone. So I'm raising my vibration. Yesterday, Joey, I danced 3 hours, 3 whole hours.
No,
It was
no wonder you were tired. You said you were exhausted earlier before you hopped on. You're doing too much dancing.
because I was fighting against this, and I prove that I can do this without this conscience to be suppressed. So somebody, one of my friends, actually two of my friends, were like tired and not well and all, and I said, "Okay, I'll call you now." Psh, video call, and I was like dancing, da, da, da. And it was like the energy, you cannot deny it. As soon as you got your energy really on high, that the other person got it straight away. Is no denial that you choose which frequency you want to live. So, and the frequencies are starting to tell you that you are not capable because it's taking more time for you. And I say no, because that old thinking no longer applies to me. What you're trying to say is you're trying to test me, but my test is I am not longer there. I jump and I'm waiting for the deliverance mode, and I've jumped and I dance and I dance and I felt so good. And all week I've done this. I've done this all week. And when I see these people, like a lot of you, I'm sorry, not judgment there. There's no judgment on my words. I hope you don't judge what I'm going to say. Is I seen like one of the this person's got so much knowledge. He actually put a status saying, like, I don't want to be here anymore. And that hurt me so much. Come on, you chosen to be here. Why on earth that now you know the truth, now you know the world of illusion, now you know what you're playing, why you want to put that statement on your Facebook? Why do you want us to see it? That is attracting more of the old paradigm, and I don't want to be that. So I can't engage with people like that. It hurts me, because my frequency is so vibrant now that more of us in my frequency are understanding this and not absorbing this. If that makes sense to any of you that watching, don't allow yourself, because your subconscious mind is trying to teach you something. It's trying to teach you, is that really you, or can I test you and you go back to before the COVID, before the pandemic? And I said, no, that person is gone. This person is now the person, the happy, the opportunities, the creator, the positive, everything that is good is coming along now. You can't give one little thing of doubt. As soon as you get the doubt, I promise you're going to go back big time. And it's going to take you all this work. If you've been working on yourself for 2 years, then you're going to work on yourself another 2 years. Don't give yourself room for that doubt, because this is a big mistake you're making.
Right.
And people say that is difficult. Go on.
The illusion is real, and it creates doubt. That's what it's there to do. You said it's the ultimate test, and I couldn't agree more with you. It's the
This
idea
is it.
the old version of you no longer exists, just like the old version of me no longer exists. But how did we do that? How did we create a new version of ourselves that no longer live in that old paradigm?
Just
And
just transmute it. You have
it's
to.
I'd say though, yeah, it's habit though. It's practice. It takes
Uh-huh.
work. You know,
So,
we're pre-programmed to fall into. It's easy to not analyze. It's easy to not think. It's easy to zone out and absorb the bullshit really that's coming in from all around. And the true test, the ultimate test, is when we become aware that we no longer have to let that energy in, and we're the one that permeates out the energy we choose to resonate at. So when we start to resonate at that higher frequency, that practice, it starts to transform us. We start to
uh-huh.
become what it is we believe we are. You know, for instance, Richard, been working with him, and he's been doing, he put in the notes here, comments, he's on 28 days now of doing the incantations and affirmations that I worked with him on. And, you know, 28 days of programming yourself to believe a certain thing or a certain way, you know, that has huge power. That has profound impact on your life. Now imagine you do that every month with a new affirmation, a new incantation. That's
Uh-huh.
12 new versions of you that you've basically downloaded into your mind, and you are becoming that version each time you say it, each time you do it, each time you feel it and believe it. And that's the power of our imagination. That's the power that words have to create this reality. So if we allow in the negative, which is always, which at this point it's always there, you know, it's all around us. It's the idea that we have to be able to shut it out and reprogram ourselves, our subconscious mind, to no longer acknowledge it. See it, it's there, that's fine, but to no longer allow it to have any effect on us, I think, is a key
Exactly.
to doing it. You know, it's I think
It's
I've talked about it before. It's when I am encountered with something negative, or I have a terrible thought that pops into my mind just for that split second. I acknowledge it. I recognize that it came in, but then I simply say, not in this reality, not
no.
on this timeline. We're
There's
infinite beings with infinite possibilities. I push that out onto another timeline,
uh-huh.
not
Exactly.
this one. And
Exactly.
is that like pushing blame? Is that like making terrible things happen to another version of me on a different timeline? In a sense, possibly, but at this point in time, I'm in this conscious version. I'm in this timeline, and this is the one I choose to exist in. Which are we going to let it pull us onto that negative version, or are we going to pull ourselves onto that positive version? Just send it out, let it be, somewhere else, but here is
I
the way I
found
do it.
I found a way that is protecting me all the time against all these doubts. Because imagine, I'm going to give you a tip, guys. Imagine you know who you are now. You know that you are a multi-dimensional being, and you are a being of light. There is nothing else. This physical vessel is just what we agreed to embody here on the earth. So you know you are a quantum being. You know you can transmute your feelings as well. So what I've done was, because this is easy for me now, I don't really have an effort on making this happen because everybody sees me doing it every time now in the road with my friends in a coffee shop. You guys feel the energy because the energy is real. So if you feel a frequency that is lower to you, ultimately you know it is there already. What you can do just to stay on your vibration all the time, on your frequency all the time, you put a shield around you, just because you know you are a being of light and you know you are, and it's possible. You can't see it, but you know you can do it. So what I do is I just shield myself every single time. It doesn't matter. I just shield myself and I imagine my etheric body to be visible to others. Okay, I always imagine this because some people actually can see it now. Some people can see on daylight, some people can see on nightlight. If I do a video call, some people just say to me, "You shining," and there is light around you. It's either green, yellow. I've seen people saying I've got purple. I've got people had say that I had like a rainbow color. So this works because I can't see it and some others can. So when I shield myself and say I am vibrating this energy field now, which is in a quantum field, which is in a physical vessel, but quantum being, it's easy to transmute any feeling, any ways that is not longer resonating with what you should be. Okay, so if you try that and say, imagine yourself as a beam of light, and you don't see it, but you just imagine, and you bring, like Brian Scott says that a lot in the meditations and in his book reading. If you just imagine this beam of light descending upon you, and if you don't want to go through your body, just put it around your body. So anybody that you see on your energy field that is not matching your frequency, they kind of touch and go. They can't even get closer to you because you put yourself around this thing, and they feel it from miles away. They feel it. And I'm talking to you and I'm just actually seeing colors now in front of my eyes because this is what I'm doing, because the energies are real. And sometimes I try to put all these things out of my eyes now, like, because I've connected really bad or good. I don't know what you guys saying, but when I put this in front of me and I just see all these things around me, I don't even know how to say the names because I'm not a technical person and I'm certainly not a teacher. But what I see is these lines. And when you meditate, you see these lines. They're like flashing lights and they're like points that you just draw on them. Do you know the dots when you join to do, for example, you put a doll and you just do a doll with dots and you have to join all the dots? That's what I see now in my meditations. Not the doll, but the dots, like straight lines and shaped lines. And what I do now is this: I just pull them out. For example, if something hurting, I just put it out and I do this and I do this and I pull them out. And you can do the same. Everybody can do it. And you shield yourself against these energies. It doesn't matter if I have virtual energies or if they're physical energies. People can actually feel you. And they feel you so much. I'm going to give you an example. There is a lady that I used to go to the coffee. I go to the coffee shop and I always felt the energy of this lady. And every time I was around this lady, she didn't understand this, but I shield myself straight away. And one day I was with another girl, and the lady said to this lady that I was doing something funny. And she said, I know it's me. She doesn't like me. It's nothing to do with it because I love the lady. It's just the energy doesn't match. And I tell you what, I saw her in the other coffee shop, and she felt me really, really strongly that I was doing something. And I explained it is not against that, it's protection only. And she started to be very nice to me. Really, really nice to me. I never had this feeling about this lady. So this is a test. You can do that yourselves. Shield yourselves. Imagine yourself in this frequency of light, because ultimately these energies are going to come down to you and you're not going to feel down and you're not going to feel tired, because this was a test for me this week. And I mastered this very, 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 very well this week. And I was on a test and I said, no, I'm not going to enter that field because I'm in the quantum field. And in the quantum, you can change anything. DNA, thoughts, pain. This morning I woke up with a neck pain and I said, do you know what? You're there, but I'm not there. And it's gone. It's gone. How is it gone? It was so bad. You can do this, guys. You can transmit anything. If there's any comments, I want to hear.
Yeah, we got a good one. Adam, our good buddy Adam Duvall, thanks for tuning in over there with the Mental Health Warriors Network. I love what you're doing. And hey, I've got my first show's coming out this Friday. Stay tuned, guys, or tune in, I'd say, Friday afternoon. And I'll be doing my first show over there on the stories we tell ourselves. So be sure to tune into that. But anyways, Adam Duvall, he wrote, we can all view what's in front of us, but half the time we cannot see what is in front of us until we tap into our subconscious mind. And you're absolutely right. Adam, we only see what we choose to see. and we can only see what we resonate with, the frequency we're on. That is a quantum level physical reality. And we perceive, just like perceiving colors in this 3D world, we only see the current color spectrum that we know of. But we know through science that there's so many other colors out there that are in the spectrum. We just cannot see them because we see only what we choose to see and what we resonate with. I say the same thing happened with the indigenous tribes, the Indians, when Columbus and all of the initial pioneers came over here to the United States, and all the Indians were out on the ocean, on the beach, and they couldn't even see the ships that were out in the bay that were coming in. These huge, massive ships are out there. They couldn't see them until they got in the rowboats, and they literally got all the way up on shore, and they stepped out onto the sand, and it was like, boom, they became a reality. They weren't resonating with them out in sea. They could not see them, just like the color spectrum. We cannot see the other colors that are out there until we resonate with them. And once they came to shore, once they were in physical contact with them, they all appeared. So it's just it's the matter of our brain is programmed to see only what we allow it to see or what we believe it can see. And that's where the importance of our imagination comes into play. That's where believing is the first step, but truly starting to see and feel the timeline that you want to be on, the new reality that you want to create. Neville Goddard calls it living in the end. That is the key to it. It's one thing to feel it. It's one thing to imagine it, but we have to incorporate all these things: the belief, the emotions, the feelings, the physical, the metaphysical. All of these play into the reality we want to see unfold. So at the end of the day, if we're creating fear and chaos and misbelief, that is exactly what we're going to see. And it's going to repeat over and over and over again until we step outside of the old patterns. We break the old way of believing and thinking and start to believe in ourselves and our own divine true power that we were given to create whatever it is we want to create. I know, Liliana, you said you woke up this morning with a neck pain. You said, not in this reality. And poof, it's gone. You chose to see it. You were aware of it, but you chose to go in a different path. And that's such a vital step here for so many people. And it comes from practice, daily practice, right?
And what I've done was I had a choice. I said, the neck is hurting and I can do it worse or I can do it better. So I decided I'll not join yoga this morning because it was really that bad. And I told Tom, I said, look, I'm not joining it today but I'll make it go away because I don't live here. I live in a quantum. So I just give my body a rest. You can't just force things. You have to know how to do it and you have to act. What I see a lot, and this is not judgment again, take what I say, not in a judgment way, please, because we are being tested now big time. And a lot of us still eating improperly and fit. And they want to create things without being different. If you are in a different timeline, you have to create a timeline for everything. The light body, the plasma body, the crystalline body, they can't accept dense foods anymore. Tell me what you want, because I tried it and it doesn't work. So if you guys want to carry on eating oil, chips, these oils that are processed and fried over and over, you are just not going to gain a crystalline or plasma body. You can write that down because it's not going to happen. I'm telling you, you can ask anybody, it's not happening because these oils are cancerous. They not bring crystalline body. They just bring poison into your body. So I share some good content this week. And I try not to write a lot so it could be visible for you guys. You have to move your body, clean your body, clean your mind to get a crystalline body showing. If you carry on with the old habits, with the old you don't get out of the house, you don't move, you don't clean your gut, you don't clean your mind, and you keep wake up every day and just think this is just another day equal to yesterday, I'm telling you, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to change. You're going to be the person you've been 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years ago. If you want to create this ultimate quantum person that you are anyway already in the in this universe, you need to start acting as one, because nothing poison can go up. You know, nothing poison can progress. If you put your poison in your body, you're not going to go forward, you're going to go backwards, and eventually you are going to be forced to go back to the doctors. So if we are shifting timelines and we're not believing in this medical system, this is only one way to do it. Act on it so you don't have to go back on it. So if you act on it and not eating all these foods that are going to be bad for your health, because they're going to catch up with you when you're 30, 40, 50s, you're going to say heart problems, liver problems, you name it. It's because you are not given the timeline that you want to live in. You're going to go back, fall back. This is only advice, no judgment there, because I decided for myself how to do it. So I could say I'm going to go to the doctors because I'm feeding myself all these foods. And in 10 years' time, he's going to say I've got high cholesterol. It's up to me. I don't eat salt. All the salt, it's gone out of my diet now. Only if I option to have salt, dip. Himalaya salt is the best that's out there. There are good salts out there that you can use, but not the refined salt or sea salt, which I don't use sea salt anymore anyway. Only Himalaya salt is good for you. So if you want to have this body, you have to shift all the sugar. Refined sugars are poison for your body. They give you migraines, they give you headaches, they give you chronic fatigue, they give all these things that we know. But a lot of people choose not to go into that timeline and say, how does she do it? I mean, this is live, free. You're not paying a class and you're having it already. Sugar, salt, and anything that is dense. When I say dense, very dense food, you're not going to gain a plasma body. You can try, but you're not going to have it.
You bring up a great point, and it feeds perfectly into the interview that I have coming out tomorrow on the Reality Practice podcast with Jesse Boudreau. And I interviewed him, and totally fascinating. He's a breatharian, and now he dry fasts for 23 hours a day, no water, no food, and for 1 hour a day, he drinks only juiced liquids. And the profound changes, what it's doing to his body over this time that he's been doing this, and removing all these different toxins from his body. It is literally transforming him into almost superhuman abilities. And I can relate to him. And especially what you're talking about is we all, I think, recognize we need to make changes, but we beat ourselves up a lot of times because, one, they're not happening fast enough. Two, we try to overwhelm ourselves with too much stuff all at once. And should we remove sugar? Absolutely. Salt? Sure. Fluoride? All these heavy metals, toxins, all this crap that's coming in. We need to remove it, but we need to be systematic about it. We need to give ourselves a chance for success, and we need to find and listen to our body as it tells us what we need. For me, I was talking with Jesse about it. Much like him, when he started his journey 4 or 5 years ago, it was a slow, he just started implementing this. He started eating less. He started switching what he drank and what he put in his body. And for me, I could understand it and relate because I no longer have an urge to eat in the morning. Very rarely. I literally my last meal in the evening, maybe midway through the evening. Typically won't eat anything until 3, 4.
Your internet is breaking up.
I'm doing
Your internet is breaking up, Joey. I think we lost him. No? Is it me only or we lost Joey?
Are you back?
It's
There you are.
interrupt.
Can you hear me?
It's interrupted.
Well, we must be talking too much truth here.
Yeah,
Let's see
it's
if it hops
interrupted.
back on.
It doesn't matter because this is
All
all.
right, it says it was restored now. So
It
I
is.
think we're
Yeah,
back on. Sorry about that, guys.
it's
Apparently we're
okay.
talking too much truth and the powers that be said shut it down. No.
I've started this a few years back with when I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I start juicing, and the difference is that all these foods that I tried to put in my juice, they were no good anyway. So it's difficult unless you have a nutrition to tell them. But the nutritions, they don't know everything. Your body knows. So I honestly, guys, you know what I do in the morning? You're gonna call me crazy. They call me Lily Loca over here anyway, because I grab Loca is crazy. Eh? I grab parsley, mint, coriander, and I just put chunks of it in my mouth. I test myself. Can I live on this? If I want, yes. Do I want to live on it? I don't need to. Do I detox my body in the morning? Of course I do. Why? How? Supplements. Organic. Not any crap from Holland and Barrett. It's full of chemicals like everything else that you buy in the shelves. So I don't know if you know Holland and Barrett over here is very popular. Everybody buys the supplements from there. They are terrible. It's like you eating your sugar and your salt again. Don't do that to yourselves, please. Just choose a trust online source that can supply you organic supplements that extract from the volcanoes, from the Himalayas, from there are so many. You don't need to buy all these things at once. Start with one, go gentle on yourself, and eliminate something that is not good on your diet. I'm not saying substitute because you can't substitute, but eliminate. I mean, I rarely eat bread, rarely. And if I do, I try to buy rye now these days. So you can have choices. If you want to have crystalline body, if you want to start think clearly, because everything is here. The nervous system, this is value, guys, honestly. The nervous system, it's the one who needs the most food. I'm talking about good, nourishing foods. If you put your body with so much process it, because a lot of foods in England and America is the same, is process it, you're not gonna have it. You intoxicated your body with metal, and metals in your body stop function your nervous system. That stops thinking straight, and you get like a gray area, like an aura, and you stop thinking straight. You start to have brain fog. That's why they say you have chronic fatigue and you have fibromyalgia, because your body is intoxicated with these things. So I choose my timeline. And what did I did to be in the timeline that I'm now? You choose what you eat as well. It's not just about, oh, I'm manifesting a bag of money. It's not just like that. You manifest what you want to manifest, but you act on it. So if I say I manifest this wonderful body for 50 years old, you can only see my ribs, there's no meat, it's because I'm working towards it. Nobody else is telling me what I should put in my body. I put my body what I want. So if you guys want a crystalline body, plasma body, if you want to go on a quantum, which you are already anyway, but you just don't know how to transmute these things. Like everything in life, you have to act on it and start make small changes so you become that person you want to be, and be on a frequency and a timeline that you're supposed to be, so collectively we can start change the world, so the government will not sell all these crap foods for us to eat anymore because nobody's buying them anymore. Which timeline do you want to live? Do you want to create your new one, or do you want to still supplying and aligning with the old one?
Right, exactly.
The
Create.
choice. Correct? It's a choice.
That is a choice. Yes, the choice is ours on what timeline we want to create. Create the beauty of,
Oh,
create the life you desire, create the fear, create the planet, create unhealthy habits.
Uh-huh. He's gone again. Joe, your internet is bad. Oh, he's gone. Where are you? Are you
Terrible.
there? Woo.
Can you hear me?
It's okay.
It's showing
Yeah. It's come and go. It's all right.
when I got access, but
We can't hear you. So basically, I'm not feeding these timelines. These timelines. I'm not aligning with the old programming because they sell me this cheap food, and I don't want it. I just say no. Are you back?
I hope so. It looks like I'm back. So yeah,
I was trying to entertain because you're gone.
that's fine. Perfect. Yeah, they don't want us getting out the truth of our class
It's
tomorrow
okay.
that we're going to be hosting
We're
tomorrow
gonna talk about
afternoon.
these things. Yeah, I'm
And
gonna
we're
talk about
going, yeah,
these
we're
things.
going to be going deep into all of this stuff. We're going to give you some
Yeah,
PDFs, some helpful resources to learn how to detoxify the pineal
uh-huh.
gland,
Yeah,
what herbs, what supplements work to
yeah,
help you detoxify your body to remove these heavy metals, how
uh-huh.
to remove the fluoride from the water, all these different things that are causing us to not have the full crystalline body that we deserve and desire to live in. So we're going to give you a lot of useful stuff tomorrow. If you're not enrolled yet, be sure to
Uh,
check it out.
Adam is sending me a message, but he used an expression that I don't use. As Brian said, we don't use elite in our language, Adam. The elite is just is needed. Everything is there, but we don't feed it. So there are some words that a lot of people will learn a lot with us because there are some words that just don't come out. Elite is just another name for whatever. So we don't feed that, do we, Joey? No.
No, no, we do not. They are all, everybody, good, bad, whatever you want to view them as, is all serving a purpose. And that's the timeline I choose to
If
live on. I look
if
at
you
all the things that happen as a way to benefit my development, my expansion, my evolution, and certain triggers I need to make me have to go within and to make the changes. Certain things about our food. When I feel unhealthy, I will get to the point where I want to make the change and start putting in the healthy alternatives, detoxifying my system, drinking more juices, raw, whole
uh-huh,
foods, things like
raw,
that. But
raw.
we can't get to the point of doing it until we feel enough pain from doing it, doing the
Exactly.
wrong, in order to make the choice to do the right. And that's
It's
all we're here. The so-called elite, the so-called evils, they are here only
for
for a
purpose.
purpose to
Yeah,
awaken us to the
exactly.
light and to
Exactly.
choose good over the perception of evil. That everything, good, bad, is all here for our best interest. So how do we want to frame it? How do we want to create that universe? Do you want to create it from fear, or do you want to create it from love, from light, from
Exactly.
fellowship with your brothers and sisters and all that exists?
Exactly. And if you guys haven't read what I've said, because everything is spiritual ignorance, because we become in spiritual ignorant. We think we know everything, and we become attached to this ignorance that is become spiritual now. If you haven't read about my thinking, how I perceive the ego to be, just go back and read what I posted yesterday, so you understand exactly what everything is in the world that we live in right now, because everything is existing for a purpose. Even the cross, a lot of people don't know. Just go and read what I wrote yesterday instead of me repeating myself, because I express myself through writings, and I write because when I'm inspired, when my pineal gland gets exposed, I write, and I choose to write what I think is appropriate for a lot of people. So if I think we lost Joey again, but that's I keep talking. So if you haven't read my the way I see the ego on the spiritual side of things, just go back to my post yesterday on my feed and read it, and you understand why I become to have this wisdom. It's not because I've been given some extra powers or anything like that, because you all have it. You all have it, all of you. It's just because I start to listen more to everything that doesn't agree with my soul. So if my soul doesn't agree with everything that the government's trying to feed me, with medication, with bad foods, with whatever, I just don't do it. I think we lost Joey for good, and I've been left live, and I don't know how long we have left. Can any and I can't see any comments because obviously this is from his live stream. So whatever happened, I wait for Joey to come back in. But I have to say that I can't see any of you because everything is stream live from his hand. So if I can help you on the subject that we talk about today, how do we protect ourselves from these energies that are here at the moment? Just stay focused, stay present. Ah, he's back.
Hey, I'm back. They
Stay
are they
present,
are
stay
fighting
focused.
hard.
It's all right. I'll tell the people, I've told them, stay focused, stay present, listen. Listen to me now. You are going to listen your voice. That little still voice that you don't understand yet how to recognize and hear talks to you 24 hours. And the 24 hours, if that still voice said to you, you're going to have something that's really malignant for you, but everybody's eating it or everybody's doing it. And you think it's going to intoxicate your body. But the little voice said, you know that, you shouldn't do that. Don't feel guilty if once in upon a time you can have it, obviously. But don't feed yourself. Listen to your voice because your voice is training you to your higher version. You have a choice. You either keep in this timeline, you either jump timeline, one timeline above. Because a lot of people think we are going to be taken to a place. Oh, this is the new earth, and we're going to be taken to a... No. Everything is consciousness. Nothing is going to be taken to no. Nothing. We're not going to go anywhere. it's I'll let Joey speak because we lost him, so carry on.
Oh, I'm fine. I don't know what you spoke.
Someone's saying something. Liliana Da Cruz. Who's there? Joey can't speak to me. I can't read that. What is it, Joey?
Hear me?
Come and go.
Can you hear me?
Yes. What do they say? Who is it?
The question Richard's asking, what type of salt were you speaking of earlier and where can you get it?
Himalaya salt. It sells everywhere.
Oh, Himalayan salt.
Himalayan salt, yes.
It's the accent. So no
Yes,
worries.
the accent.
Himalayan salt.
Yeah. Or Richard, if you find that you want to switch for sea salt, don't buy refined salts. Just switch for sea salt first, and then when your palate is used to the sea salt, then you choose something else. But I chosen because the sea salt comes from the sea. It's not that bad, and the Himalaya salt comes from the volcano, so it's not that bad. It's entirely up to you. It's your budget. As long as you eat some salt that is proper salt, it's not gonna be horrible for your body. So, like everything else in life, a lot of people say, "Oh, I can't give up on my coffee," but you know what your coffee do to your gut? It's just killing it. I'm trying to have one a day without sugar now, but every time I drink it, I go like, "Oh, I shouldn't be drinking this." Eventually, I'm gonna give up of coffee as well. But the energies, when they agree with me, they make me, they force me because my thinking start to programming. It's my program already. It's like I need to give up. I'm already planting that in my mind. So everything is a program. So I'm programming myself already to give up of coffee because it's terrible for your gut. It's absolutely, it's not good. It just brings us so much unhealth. So it's whether you want to create these new habits, your new body, your new timelines. And eventually, if we don't, I'm lacking the word today. The word, if we don't agree with the programming, if we don't feed the government foods, if we don't buy them, eventually they'll have to stop selling them. It's entirely up to us. But many people think, oh, I've got no money, I can't afford it. If I tell you I cook a cheaper meal with fresh ingredients, you're not going to believe it, do you? I've tested, I've tried it. And it's true. And it lasts me for 2-3 meals. Fresh ingredients are cheaper. You try it, guys. You try. Problem is, you don't want to act on it because we become lazy. And this is the truth that nobody wants to hear. And he said, I've got no time. Everybody's got time for good food. No excuse.
Here, Richard's got a question he
Go
asked
on.
earlier, and it says, "Is it my energy field or sixth sense or ESP in the past? I could sense bad energy and was
Yeah,
followed. I knew
you
escaped
can.
routes, turned around. Yeah, Richard, it's and he asked another question about why does he get premonitions and during his dreams like movies and everything, and
Real. It's
you
real.
know, it's real and it's
It's
you're
real.
accessing other
Other,
past
uh,
lives. You're accessing your higher self. And for
other
you,
versions of you.
yes, other versions of you living
Uh-huh.
other realities. And we're all interconnected there. And it's
Exactly.
all connected through the energy. So for you, Richard, I know that you're very visual with me about your dreams, almost like movies. You say people they don't have that. That's the clairvoyant, aspect that's dominant. It sounds like it
We keep losing Joey.
who's clairaudient or clairsentient, that feels or hears. So there's a lot of different aspects that go with it, but definitely you have
Yeah, Richard, we're losing Joey again. So yeah, those dreams are you in other past lives. For example, if you dream with somebody that is not, you don't think is you, it could be you playing another role in another timeline, past, present, or future. So everything that you dream, it's a reality that you are living or lived, or a simultaneous are already, or you're going to. So take everything as an account and see what is trying to teach you, because sometimes it's for the future, sometimes it's the past that we need to get rid of and say, yeah, I've been that person, I don't like it, but now I'm a different person, I'm acting different. So it's all versions of you, all of them. Um, I don't think we're gonna have much luck with this with Joey when he comes back. That's it, he's gone. Are you having fun, guys? Tomorrow, if you haven't signed up yet, ask your friends, share in your timeline, please, guys. This is not about the reality practice. This is about you getting value and give value to your friends and family and relatives, whatever. Just ask people to join in. It's $97, it's 80 something pounds. And the value you're gonna get from this class, it's huge. You pay something like £2,000 to have the same value elsewhere. Elsewhere. Joe Dispenza talk about it, a lot of mentors talk about it, but you have to pay big money to learn what we're going to teach you tomorrow. So sign in, join in. Joe is there, paralyzed in front of us. And when he comes back, we're just going to say goodbye. I'll see you tomorrow in class. If you have not yet done so, please just spread the love, spread the link. Somebody out there would like to see on your timeline. They might want to join, they don't know where to start. Just help them out, because this is not about us, it's about helping the collective. Joey, are you there? Nope. He's the one who needs to sign off because I can't do anything from here. Oh, Jesus. What is saying? Energy field. Yes, Richard, about your question, you can feel the energy of others because you are sensitive and you are a good soul. Your energy resonates with good people, right? So when you sense somebody that is not good, because everybody's a version of us, it's it's right. It's your soul telling you that you no longer resonate with that frequency, with that energy. It's not that that person is bad, is that person is actually playing on a different field, on a different energy frequency than yours. So you actually ascended to higher realms because you come back here, now you incarnate with a better energy and you are becoming really good. That's why you are soft, you are caring, you are compassionate. Any of us that came to the world right now with these qualities, we're not worse or better than anybody else. We just pass some exams and we ascend in each timeline. So we decide this time around, we passed all these horrible version of us, because I have been a murderer in the past. I have been a drunk in the past. I have been a drug dealer in the past. But I have been a queen in the past, and I've been a musician in the past. So it's you to remember all these versions of you that make you who you are now. So if I decide to come here now with these qualities that I have, I've always been compassionate, I've always been an empath, I've always been very caring. is because I decided this is my time to help the collective to wake up. So this is why I took this call, and I never denied this call. Now, Joe is not going to come back, and I don't know how to get out of here, because this is, if I go,
I'm
this
back.
is,
I'm back.
we on the hour. I already promote everything. I've said everything. We better go, because otherwise I can't switch off this thing.
That's all right. I'm posting the link right now in the comment box to enroll in the class for those interested.
Just take us out, Joey. Just take us out. I already spoke everything. Take us out. Just take us out. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. And I hope you just take us out, because otherwise I'm going to have to stay alive forever until he comes back again. Oh, Jesus.